The Sports Show.
Good afternoon and welcome to The Sports Show here on Like Effect Radio. I'm your host, Ryan Kirby. We have a great show for you guys this afternoon and this evening. We'll be talking about all things college basketball, a preview of Monday Night Football, and so much more. But before we start talking about college basketball, I want to let everybody who is listening either in Breakers or at home know that you can join the conversation by tweeting at me at Ryan_Kirby19 on Twitter, or you can call into the show at 440-940-6615. Now, first I want to talk about some talk and preview the college basketball season, as they will be tipping off tomorrow night with the State Farm Champions Classic on ESPN, as number 1 Kansas takes on number 10 Michigan State, followed by number 4 Duke and number 2 to Kentucky at 9:30. Now, when you look at the AP top 10 in college basketball, there are a couple surprises to me. One is that Duke is not number 1, because I feel like every single year Kansas is always that number 1 team. And the other thing is that Villanova, the defending national champs, are not number 1. That doesn't make sense to me. And the other thing is that you look at Duke, having one of the top recruits in the ESPN 300, Zion Williamson. Why aren't they considered number 1? Why isn't Villanova considered number 1? I mean, you look at college football, Alabama's always number 1. Even if they don't win it, even when they win the national championship, they're number 1. It seems like that's the same thing in college basketball. Excuse me. Jeremiah, do you have any opinion on that? Why that is?
Well, Kansas recruits really decent.
True.
So that's the one reason why they always have such great talent.
Right, but why aren't there any other schools considered? You look at Villanova winning the national championship last year. You look at Duke with one of the top, as I said before, one of the top recruits in the ESPN 300, Zion Williamson. I mean, to be honest, this guy is kind of looking like LeBron James, in my opinion. He's going to be, I guarantee you he will be the next LeBron James, without a doubt. I mean, you look at some of his highlights and how good he is. I mean, he's got that wingspan. He's got the talent.
Wingspan doesn't mean anything. The thing is, it sort of goes like this. You can be whatever, LeBron James, whatever. I'll call him that.
Right.
The only thing is, it's not, like many people, about the money.
Right.
And all that.
Right.
The championships and all that. Those are nice, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, definitely, right.
But at some point in time, you got to go and say, like, when Akron went belly up and that, then they were canceling sports and blah, 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 and all that.
Right.
When LeBron comes back, he goes and says, well, here I'm going to give, almost pretty much his salary that he was getting from the Cavs at that time, 33 whatever million. He was giving that off to fund people to go to school. How many people do you see that go in the NBA that do that?
Not very many.
They go and do Habitat, whatever, give a little money, whatever.
Right, but LeBron's
doing something like that.
Right, but I mean, LeBron was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. He has those ties. I mean, that's amazing what he does for the city and for the city of Akron. To give back to them, even to give back to his high school. St. Vincent, St. Mary. As you said before, there's not many guys who actually do that. I mean, but I mean, I want to go back to this because you also look at the other couple teams in this top 10. You look at Gonzaga at number 3, North Carolina at number 8, Villanova at number 9, Michigan State at number 10. In my opinion, I never thought Nevada would be in the top 10, to be honest with you. Look, I mean, maybe that's just because of what they did in the NCAA tournament. Maybe I was missing something there.
No way.
I mean,
I think they sort of grabbed some after the, Southern Twist is the last one that they ranked people.
Right.
From last year.
Right. But you also look at, I'm going to go back to this, Duke with how many good recruits they have. I'm going to go back to this, Zion Williamson, top recruit in the ESPN 300. They're not, the beginning of the year, they really don't face that many top teams, if you know what I mean by that. They really don't face those big name schools until the middle of the season. They're facing more of those They have more of those like warm-up exhibition type games that they play in. I mean,
Well, it goes to like March Madness.
true.
I don't pay attention really hugely into basketball.
Right.
I always miss, like one or two
Right.
on my bracket. I pick upsets.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't you
All
have to pick,
that.
I mean you have to pick upsets. There has to be a couple upsets you pick. I mean, I think that's the one thing that will be cool to see is will we have another Cinderella story with some of these other schools? Like, I mean, you look at the first 16 seed to knock off a 1 last year. I mean, who would have thought that a 16 would ever knock off a 1 in the NCAA tournament?
Oh yeah, that
mean-
can happen.
I mean, but who would have thought it would have been last year? I mean, I was
Whoever thought Appalachian State would take out Michigan?
true. Yeah, I would say you did bring that up last week. Who would have thought?
It goes back to that.
I mean, yeah.
Anything can happen. College, it's not, hey, look at me, I'm getting $50 million. No, those guys, they're earning their scholarship in that. They're earning their, whatever for draft status,
Right.
NBA,
Right.
branding.
Branding. I mean, they're getting all those.
That.
I mean,
you know,
but I mean,
pro
yeah.
football, whatever.
Right. I mean,
They're earning whatever.
Right. I mean, you talk about how these guys are getting stuff during college. I mean, look at the Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray. He was drafted by the Oakland A's this year, and he's finishing up his football career at Oklahoma. And then he's heading to the Oakland A's to play baseball. I mean, think about
Yeah.
that. I mean, he could have very easily said, I'm going to drop out of school, leave the football program, and go play baseball. But instead, he's like, I'm going to stay and play football, finish my year with Oklahoma, and then, go play with the Oakland A's. And I give the guy a lot of credit because he's a clone of Baker Mayfield, plain and simple, when Baker was at Oklahoma. I mean, the guy can run the ball, he can throw the ball. I mean, you see some of those throws he makes. It's pretty remarkable how good he is.
But the only thing that goes to one thing.
Yeah.
College is different than the pros.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, no one thought, when, I'm going to go to this example, Johnny Manziel. Everybody thought, Johnny's going to be a great NFL quarterback. He's going to be this and this.
Oh, I was ticked after I heard that we drafted him.
Oh, I was mad only because.
We had a banquet in that up here that I said, because that happened like right before that started. I said, well, here goes the whole blanking season. And you know what happens?
Oh, man.
There, we don't have to go and conclude on that point.
Right. I think we all know what happened there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Vegas happened, Billy Manziel showed up, and, it just all went downhill from there.
and the Montreal Alouettes showed up.
Yeah.
I mean,
The fights with... Did he have fights with his girlfriend?
yeah, because they ended up going
Yeah.
to court for all the fights, and he threatened to throw out of the car and this and that. I'm not even going to go into all the details because that
Yeah.
would be wrong for me to go into those details. But you get my point.
No,
I mean-
we seen it.
Yeah, I mean we've seen
We've
it.
seen
all.
it in the articles.
I mean, to be honest, he looks almost like today. Like, you remember how you never really had tattoos. He never really had. You never really saw any tattoos on him. Now he looks like Allen Iverson. He's got a neck tattoo. He's got tattoos all over his arms. I mean, he looks literally like Allen Iverson all over again. It's
I
unbelievable.
haven't seen a picture
Oh
of
my
him
God!
lately.
I watched his first game with I think it was the Montreal Alouettes. He looked like the same old Johnny. He threw the ball and it was right to the defender, and the defender just caught it, breadbasket, and ran it back for a touchdown. I was so happy. I'm like, you know what, Johnny? You screwed yourself by not playing well. You really did.
Well,
I mean, and-
Johnny, he was a special card. Vegas treated him very well.
And they treated Billy Manziel very well.
God, I'm a bad person throwing that out there. Well, it's even like what is it, Gibson?
Who?
No, Justin Gilbert.
Justin Kelly. Oh, right.
The corner that we drafted that year, too.
Right.
He got arrested for road rage and all the other different things.
Right. I mean, and speaking of road rage, I don't know if any of you guys heard about Alec Baldwin. I know this is off of sports, but Alec Baldwin was recently arrested for punching someone over a parking spot. Yeah, how crazy is that? A grown
You
man.
know the sad thing
A grown
is?
man punches a person over a parking spot.
You know the sad thing is?
What's the sad thing about
I'm
that?
not shocked.
Well, it's Alec Baldwin. I mean,
Well, no,
I'd be shocked.
well, regardless of someone fighting over a parking spot, I'm not surprised.
Why aren't you surprised?
Because here and there, some of the dumb things that you see either in person, on the news
Right.
or things like that, that after some point in time you just become numb.
Right.
Well, like here, I'll go to this best example.
Okay.
So a few years ago, I was out in the courtyard here.
Okay.
Somebody, it was after Black Friday one year, and
Oh
that.
no.
Well, they were sitting there saying, well, I went out to Best Buy and that, to go and get, they had like Sony, I thought 40, 50-inch, whatever, screen TVs.
Yeah.
They went and bought them.
Yeah.
They threw them in the back of the truck.
Uh-huh.
They put a tarp over them.
Yeah.
They went over there, out in Menor, they have the Walmart out there.
Yeah.
Well, out there, it's, the Speedway and it's a Salvation Army. They had a park out in front of the Salvation Army.
Right.
Went in because they wanted to get whatever dumb thing
Someone
out of Walmart.
yeah,
someone
stole
stole
the
them.
TVs.
And
Oh,
the sad thing is,
What's the sad thing?
the really sad thing,
What?
the truck didn't have a cap on it.
Chuck didn't have a cap. What do you mean?
Like how you see, the trucks with, the cab on top that, you had the little gate on top, or glass, like, see-through, like, little topper. Then you had to open that up, then put down the gate. No, it didn't have one of those caps on it.
Oh my! Wow.
You think the tarp's going to cover the,
TV.
protect the two, flat screen TVs you have in the back of the
Nope.
truck? I mean,
Wow.
seriously, it's not lock and key. You could move a tarp up in that. Then I guess the Menor cop went up to him and
Yeah.
said, well, do you have, the...
Receipt.
No.
What?
The,
License,
what was
license
it?
Plate? Would it be license plate number?
Serial number
Oh,
of them.
serial number.
No, we just bought... Well, duh. Yeah, they don't have the serial number. What? You go and... You didn't have somebody with you, a family member that
was watching it.
Hey, I just went to Best Buy, got the TVs. Hey, meet me at Walmart. I'll switch cars and that, take it out. Come on.
Right. I mean, how it's like Josh Gordon. How stupid can you be? Well, you look at Josh Gordon, all the stuff he went through. I mean, prime example with that. Even I think it was recently Trace McSorley, the quarterback from Penn State, got into some legal trouble with the law. He had some problems. So I mean, it makes me sick to see all these good college athletes and even people in general just being just stupid.
Well,
I'm
it's
sorry.
where today's society is.
Right. We all rely on our
Ah.
cell phones. I mean, here's another story for you. I heard on the news that people are now hacking. Like those home security systems where you can actually see like the video cameras in that.
Yeah.
People are hacking into those and watching in on families. Like,
I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked.
People
but
hacking the laptops, so it's
that's
about
why.
time.
Well, here's the thing. That's why you cover them with, like, as my parents would tell me, or my mom and dad both told me this. Cover your laptop camera with a Post-it note or something.
Or you
people-
don't do something stupid.
True, but still, even if
For
even
one.
if but here's the thing: even if that light's not on your video camera on your laptop, people can still see through, and you won't even know it. So that's
I know.
that's why here, good recommendation for you college students: put a Post-it note or take a piece of a Post-it note and put it over your laptop camera. That way, you will not know. That way, no one can look and see what you're doing. Plain and simple. Now, I want to get back to sports. Because this show is all about sports. It's called The Sports Show for a reason. I want to talk about those Cleveland Browns. They lost to the Chiefs. Of course. What do you see them doing at head coach? Do you see them keeping Greg Williams as the head coach? Do you see them hiring him fully? Or do you see them getting rid of him?
Well, it goes back to this.
Yeah.
It's way too freaking early to even tell.
Well, hey, it was way too freaking early to tell about Baker Mayfield. And everybody was like, oh, Baker, And then you said Baker slow
You
start
were
Mayfield.
somewhat.
I was. I'll admit it. I was.
I guarantee now people are like, oh, well, he's a savior. You scored, 2 touchdowns in the first half of a game. Good for you. It's
Right.
about time. How many
Right.
starts did it take?
Right. What?
But how many, touchdowns did he score after that?
None.
Yeah, it was a running back.
You're right. And then you're calling him, keep this nickname on your mind, people. Baker slow start Mayfield. And just a funny note for you guys.
Well, like last week, it ended up switching.
What?
The Baker slow end Mayfield.
Slow.
Because he didn't score really much in the second half.
Oh, right. Okay. I mean, and the other thing is that, The one thing I do not like, I'm sorry to say, I'm not gonna say hate. I'm just gonna say I don't like is that I get, older people. I get it. They're gonna, dress up, but I saw a couple of people again on TV dressed up as bakers. With the baker hat, and I'm like, and I told a friend of mine here at school, I said, they might as well just take make a T-shirt with the Pillsbury Doughboy, and instead of the Pillsbury, and put Baker Mayfield's face on the Pillsbury Doughboy's body, and just say there, make a T-shirt of it. To be honest, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, would you buy? I mean, I'd buy that. If it was $20, I'd buy it. I would not. I would say I'd love to buy that. I mean, it's a funny shirt. I mean, you can make a ton of money off of that kind of merchandise.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
People are dumb.
yeah. I mean, and they always, you look at the past couple of quarterbacks. Deshaun Kaiser. Everybody thought, oh, he's going to be amazing. Oh yes, we've got our man. And what happens to him? 0-16, doesn't throw. I don't think he even threw a single touchdown pass. To be honest, Kaiser. I don't think he threw.
Well, Kaiser was mediocre in the first place.
Right. And also, I mean,
He wasn't that smart. He couldn't figure out the difference between brown uniforms and black uniforms. Goes back to that one that he threw right the Watt, and you're just no one around.
oh man,
Goes back to that first Pittsburgh game.
right. And also, you look at where he's at now. He's the backup to a first ballot Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers. And here's another thing for you. Speaking of the Packers, guess where Mike Pettine's at? He's the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers.
I know.
And their defense is doing amazing. How crazy is
Except
that?
they're injury plagued for sure.
Why do you say that?
Well, they lost, different linebacker than getting rid of
Haha, Clinton Dix. Who here? I got a question. Speaking of that, I got a
Well,
question.
he's managing
Right.
pretty darn good.
I'll say I don't want to sound rude, but who would name their kid Haha? Is their kid just naturally funny that you just name him Haha? I mean,
Well, it goes to like the Kardashians. How about that?
you gotta go. Oh man,
St. West, Northwest. I think one Southwest.
yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Right. I'm just happy. Here's the other thing: is I'm happy Tristan Thompson hasn't gotten involved again with one of them. I'm very happy. Oh man, I haven't heard about that in a while. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, you think of the people.
Let's see the names again. Okay, yeah, St. West. Oh no, Chicago West. Chicago West, Northwest, St. West. How does that make sense?
I don't know. How does Haha Clinton Dix? What is that? I mean, that just sounds weird in and of itself.
We can make fun of Kim Kardashian for that. I mean, really, Chicago?
Right.
Seriously.
Right. You could name it Tristan.
But yeah,
But
lost a little faith there.
oh yeah, definitely. I'll say at least Tristan Thompson's doing a little bit better. I'll say
Yeah, it's about darn time.
oh right, true. I'll say speaking of that, I don't know if you heard this, but I heard this on Thursday. Not Tristan Thompson, excuse me. J.R. Smith wanted a trade
I know.
because the young guys are getting more playing time. But here's the thing: is that he needs to accept that. I get where he's coming from. Oh, I need more playing time. But if you think about it, who's gonna be the new face of the franchise come, 2022? Come, a couple years down the road, Colin Sexton. These young guys will be the face of the franchise down the road. It won't be J.R. Smith. It'll be Colin Sexton, Sam Decker, Jetty Osman, any of those
Oh,
guys.
he's 33, so he's
getting there.
at the end of his
Right.
run. But I could see one thing: at some point in time,
Mm-hmm.
they might actually trade him.
True. I mean, I hope they do because if he keeps one, and also I hope they hire Larry Drew as I hope he's no longer the acting head coach. I hope they hire him as the head coach. Period. Because I like the way he coaches. He's, because
How many games has he won?
2?
Since
I think 2, 1 or 2, something like that. But you think about it, and you also
still, I think it's way too early to go and try to hire him now.
true.
I
But you
really
also-
do.
But you also look at, who, I'm going to go back to this. When Tyronn Lue was coaching with LeBron, who was normally in the huddles, coaching up the team? LeBron James. He was in the center of the huddle, coaching the guys. Tyronn Lue was on the bench, sitting there, letting LeBron do all the work. I would say no wonder when LeBron left, our team fell apart. LeBron was our team. He was our coach.
Yeah, we only won one game.
What are we, 1-6? Is that right?
No, 1-8.
1-8. Jeez, oh man. And who don't they play someone tonight?
Hold on, I can find that.
You're right.
The Magic.
Okay, so they're in Orlando for that game. Oosh. That's not gonna be. Wow. All right, so what are the Lakers at? I want to find that out. I know they're like 4. I thought they were like 4 and 6.
Let's see. Magic. They're a little bit better.
Yeah.
Not much.
Right. I say, how about those Lakers? I don't even know. No, I'm not talking about Lakeland. I'm talking about the LA Lakers. I say that's what they don't like is that LeBron went to LA and it happens to be the Lakers and Lakeland's Mets
4-6.
Yeah. I just hope I hope LeVar Ball does something stupid and he comes back to and LeBron comes back to Cleveland. And that would be kind of nice. I mean,
Oh, we actually have someone. Channels of music. Oh, we actually have someone from Sweden.
texted into the show?
Oh, right here.
What was she doing? Or he or she?
In Netherlands, Sweden. Hello. I'm from Sweden, checking out music and performing sections. Going through different videos. Hello. How's it going
Yeah,
over
hello,
there?
yeah. So happy you could join us. That's awesome.
Don't worry. Yeah, we have different musicians and stuff that come in.
Oh,
and
yeah,
out,
definitely.
especially in the upcoming days.
Oh yeah,
from now.
definitely. Yeah, I was saying
Tomorrow night
Say, wasn't
and
Michael
stuff.
McFarland supposed to perform today?
Yeah.
And then he, sadly didn't.
He might have mistaken it
Yeah.
for Wednesday because
But hey,
being up here and
You've got the sports show. You're tuning into that, so that's awesome.
or you check out tomorrow, the next day. We'll have other musicians in
Right.
and out.
So speaking of tomorrow, or speaking of the upcoming week, make sure to tune into the sports show at 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning. We'll be recapping the college basketball action and looking ahead to the Browns and looking ahead to many more. And actually, in a couple of weeks, we'll actually be having a new. We'll be talking about a couple new topics. We'll talk about a little high school basketball as that'll be tipping off in a couple of weeks. I will be covering Mayfield High School for you guys because that actually is my alma mater. So I'll be covering that for you. I'll have all their highlight, their scores and what have yous, and a couple of interviews for you. So you'll
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah, it's all
So,
good.
I
A little
mean-
bit restless and checking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Don't worry.
Yeah, awesome. That's
Especially in April. Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a lot of musicians in
Oh,
and
yeah.
out. If you want to see music,
oh yeah,
you sort of found a place.
right. Oh yeah.
At least November this month, it's 25-ish and
I
that.
say at least we have something to talk about on my show, the Cleveland Browns.
But yeah, in April and that, yeah, stay tuned. We got
stay tuned,
we
yeah.
get 50 or more
Oh yeah.
musicians in between
Oh yeah, for sure.
rap, singer-songwriters,
Oh,
bands,
yeah.
full drum sets in here.
Oh, yeah.
The whole 9 yards.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So if you're a little bit restless, yeah,
yeah,
we can help you for sure in
Oh
April.
definitely. Oh
Not
definitely.
you'd sit here and wondering, how did they get that drum set in this small room?
Right. That's what I was looking at. I'm looking around like, how in the world?
Oh, yeah, it goes over there in that corner.
Shit. How could you fit a drum set in there? Yeesh. Yeah, it must
Oh, we
have
take the chairs out.
Oh.
Yeah, we throw them out back,
Oh, I was gonna
out of
say.
here. It's very few chairs. It's a little less chairs.
Okay.
Occasionally that table leaves,
Ah, okay.
too.
What about those fans and all that?
Well, not the fans.
Ah, yeah.
You need the fans.
I say, yeah, it gets hot in here very quickly.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the poor decisions here at Lake Effect Radio.
Yeah. Now I want to preview Monday Night Football as the Titans will be taking on the Cowboys. Man, that should be a heck of a game. Man, two great teams. Marcus Mariota against Dak Prescott. I'll say, would you be able to pull that up?
What?
The
Tonight's game?
Yeah, tonight's game. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that should be a heck of a showdown. The two of the best teams. I mean, you look at the Titans. I mean, they're looking pretty good with Marcus Mariota playing very well. You got Ohio State alum Ezekiel Elliott playing incredible football. I mean, but it should be a heck of a game tonight. Definitely tune in. We'll definitely recap that for you guys on Wednesday
They
morning.
got a lot of injuries.
The What did-
Cowboys.
man, I say there's a lot of teams hitting
Two people?
hitting the injury bug for sure. Jeez, oh man,
Yeah, you look.
my God.
Look at Baltimore.
Oh my God. How many guys is that? 1, 2.
But I don't. I guarantee the Browns aren't any better.
I'll say they
Not
would.
Chicago.
Yeah, go to the Browns. They should be.
Chicago's.
Where are the Browns? There they are. There the Cleveland Browns. Joe Schobert.
Yeah.
Desmond. What was that? Demarius Randall. Is that
Yeah.
it? And then who else? Denzel Ward's out. Yeah, I just got word of that. I mean, yeah. Speaking of that, I mean, what's wrong? The only thing here? I'll give you some credit there. Where I was just happy the officials called a fair game yesterday with the Browns. You know, all those penalties. I loved that. I'm just happy there weren't any stupid penalties. You know, there weren't any. Oh, he's still a runner, therefore he's allowed to be hit in the head. I'm just happy that was cleared up.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to keep going back to that over and over again as the weeks go on with the NFL. I mean, if you think about it, if Baker would have been knocked out of the game, the NFL would have gotten so much scrutiny for that and so many. In my opinion, the Browns would have filed a lawsuit against them. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have been surprised if that would have came out because that's wait here. You look at the helmet rule. Think about that. If there's you cannot have any incident.
Remember one thing: they're underneath the NFL.
Who?
The Browns.
No.
So them going and
yeah.
suing them.
Well, if a guy gets hurt because of a concussion and it was clearly a hit that was an illegal hit, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns went and talked to the NFL and said, "Hey, look at that hit. Make sure you do something about it." Because, I mean, here, pull up the week 1.
Still, 32 teams.
Right.
If one's unhappy,
right.
they're not. It doesn't matter
Right.
squat to them.
I would say pull up the week 1 hit with Andrew Luck. Pull that up
Hold on.
after this comment.
I already seen it.
Oh.
I'm the kind of person that likes playing games and listening to radio music at the same time.
That's pretty
True.
cool. Yeah, I would do that.
Multitasking, that's a good
Oh
thing.
yeah, I'd say definitely. I'd definitely listen to sports talk and then probably do some homework. That's my type of deal. I'll do
Or,
that.
folding laundry, throw on whatever, and that
Oh, yeah.
background music, whatever.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Or
Definitely.
occasionally, after you've seen so many different movies at the same time, on
Right.
cable, and that you just go throw something on in the background while doing whatever.
Right.
No harm in that.
Yeah, no harm in that. Yeah. I'll say.
I do that a lot.
I'll say. I got a question for you. Do you like? I'll say type this in. I'll say. Do you like sports? They're
hearing us.
I'll say. Do you like sports? I mean, that's one thing we do talk about on this show. That's our main form of information.
Well, just this show.
Oh yeah, this show. But the other shows
early in the morning.
Early in the morning. That's what I do.
8 o'clock.
8 or 9 o'clock. That's my.
Well,
That's,
Tuesday, Thursday.
right. She just right
I'm going to
back.
save this channel so I could drop by more time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth a while.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth the
We'll
while.
keep you entertained.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially in spring. Spring's would be
yeah.
nuts.
Oh yeah, spring with with a lot of debates.
No, there's a lot more you don't know what's going to happen. Stay tuned for this sideshow.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Yep. But
Hockey. You would like the Scott and Steve show.
oh yeah, I'll definitely she likes hockey.
Yeah.
I'll say yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
in Sweden, it's a lot of ice hockey and winter sports. True.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you gotta love the Olympics.
Hockey's not my biggest thing.
I'll say, would you be able,
Scott and Steve, they
Right.
like talking about that
I'll
stuff.
say, would you be able to pull up the Blue Jackets? I wonder if they were playing tonight. I'll say since
I
you brought up hockey, we'll talk a little hockey for you. We'll
I
talk.
don't know squat about hockey, to be
Oh,
honest.
I know a little bit. My one friend actually played. He's now at West Virginia. He played 1 year of hockey. He'd never played hockey in his life. Never skated in his life. Played 1 year of hockey for the hell of it and loved it. I say I know the
No,
Blue.
I don't think they're playing tonight.
Who's playing tonight? What are the matchups?
Boston, Dallas, Montreal.
Ooh, the Penguins.
New York.
Ooh, I'll say that's one of my favorite teams. Go Pens. Pens for the win. Got to go for that.
So yeah,
I'll say
no, they're not playing tonight.
The Penguins are.
No, Columbus. Oh,
Columbus
tomorrow night.
Yeah, so there you go. Columbus is playing tomorrow night. What time is that game at? Yeah, I want
7.
7 o'clock. Okay. So I mean, we cover all sports for you. If you want to listen, have us talk hockey, we'll talk hockey. Is there another comment you made?
Huh?
Is there another?
No.
Ah,
No, not besides the hockey and
gotcha.
sports and
I say,
that.
so she's from Sweden. Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta love hockey. I mean, that's their
It's true.
That's their strong. I mean,
what
if you-
other big things are out there in Sweden? Actually,
I was
just
like-
a curiosity.
Right, yeah, just out of
besides
curiosity.
hockey.
Yeah, besides
and
hockey.
winter sports.
Oh yeah, I'll say yeah, because I mean I know their Olympic teams are off the charts, like amazing. I've seen it many times.
Just curiosity in that.
Right.
Sort of stumps my thing.
Right.
This is almost like that discussion I had with someone that was, from Berlin and that. 11 a.m., here in beautiful Ohio in the U.S. and that. Then, it's 2 a.m. the next day, whatever, over in Berlin, and they're sitting here looking and that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You get some good discussions going on.
Oh,
or you
definitely.
learn some things, a little
Hey.
culture.
Here's one thing for you people listening. We're gonna. I know we did this in the past. We seem like we're talking almost like Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. I love it. I love when we get in those arguments.
Lies.
I love what
Lies
lies.
and slander.
What? What do you say?
Lies and slander.
I mean, we get some good. Hey, the statue thing we were talking about with Dave. That was a point where we almost. I mean, yeah. And speaking of that, actually, Dave next semester will be joining us in the mornings. Definitely, he will be. He's already
Okay.
he's already told me he will be joining us. So this show will be going on air on Mondays and Wednesdays still. But I'll have a co-host with Dave, and we'll be taking your calls and definitely tweet at me. Definitely, I want to hear what you guys have to say. What's your opinions about Cleveland sports and what the Browns are doing? Because I think that's the biggest question in Cleveland is what in the world are the Browns going to do? I mean,
There's many possibilities. You really want the answer?
okay, here, got some breaking news for you. Larry Drew will be the Cavaliers head coach for the remainder of the season with a partial guarantee for 2019 through 2020. So you heard it first here on Lake Effect Radio. They've signed Larry Drew to a contract through 2019 and 2020. So I guess Larry Drew's our head coach.
Maybe that's that one thing that went through that ESPN had on my phone.
Maybe.
I don't know. Every once in a while, I'd like to just blurt or just try to ignore those things.
Right.
Here and there, some of that stuff, it gets annoying after a while.
Right.
Know what else gets annoying?
What?
Election
Oh,
stuff.
I don't want to be rude, but I do not like those campaign commercials.
Especially
so
because,
this-
like, the past week, it's been picking up. It's like,
it's been picking up like insane. Yeah, I
it's
don't
like 6 after one another. And
Oh my
that.
god! And then like all the stuff like so and so didn't do this, and this. Vote for this person.
It gets really bored, really
oh my god!
old, really
the thing
quick.
is that I get all the commercials, but it comes to a point where it's like, come on, we get it. You want us to vote for you and not vote for the other person because you may be making up. No offense to you guys, but you guys may be making up lies about the other person because it all goes bad. Because think about it. Some of those commercials, people may be making up lies. That's what I thought about when I was watching those
Not
commercials.
true.
I mean, just to
It's all
get.
about manipulation, man.
Oh, just
They
like
don't care.
I say, just like Trump trying to, as you have in your intro, building the big, beautiful wall.
That's still not worked.
yeah.
yeah.
I'll say, yeah. But yeah, I want to get back to some sports talk. We got to, that's the
Well,
name
can
of-
I throw in one thing?
Go for it.
6 prototypes of a wall. Guess how many worked out? Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Gotta throw it out under the bus.
Oh, definitely. You
It's
can't-
enough bus to go around.
Right. Now, I want to get back to, let's see. Sports. There's been a lot going on. You got college basketball coming up. You got high school playoffs. Mayfield actually lost to Akron Hoban 49-0 on Friday night. That was not to be rude to any Mayfield grads, including myself, but that wasn't a surprise to anybody, in my opinion. But, what can you do? We got another comment.
Speaking of election, our government still hasn't decided on who's going to be running the country. An election was in September.
Wow.
Is that like some runoff? Or
Yeah. I was saying, what?
It's got to be a little more
What?
to that. Is it some runoff thing, corruption,
Wow. Okay. That's fine. I'm okay with. Wow. Okay. Right.
or a lot of recall votes or
Hey.
something?
Hey.
It's got to be a lot more to that story.
I want to say thank you to whoever's in Sweden watching us. Thank you. You're the first person to be on our show. Be chatting in with us. So thank you for that. I mean, just keep it coming. Keep on coming with the comments. Definitely keep it coming.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot more to that.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
I actually just want to look that up too. But yeah, you go on to your thing.
but I mean, I want to get back to the sports talk. That's the name of our show. But so, I wanted to debate. Me and Jeremiah were debating before we went on air about who should be in the top 4 in the college football playoff. I kept saying UCF. Jeremiah, I forgot what you said. I couldn't.
UCF is mediocre.
I wouldn't call them mediocre. They hung with Auburn last year.
That was last year. It
So?
doesn't matter this year.
So, they were the undisputed national champions last year. I'm sorry. UCF
Because they
deserves-
hung with one team.
but they beat Pittsburgh handily. Notre Dame beat Pittsburgh by how much?
You can't talk about last year and this year and say, well, they did this last year, but this year, they beat this. Last year's last year.
Right, but even think about UCF with Pittsburgh. I just brought that up with
It's
Notre Dame.
almost it goes to almost, you try someone on trial. You don't have enough evidence to prove them guilty. You can't go and say, well, this time we have, fingerprints, we got, surveillance tape, eyewitnesses, not including they got caught red-handed. You can go say, well, because they weren't guilty
Right.
or proven guilty. You can't do that.
Okay. Now wait a minute. Do you think it would? Now who? I want to get your prediction on the top 4, saying that will be released tomorrow night. What do you have as your top 4? If you could put in your prediction, what would you say for your top 4? What would your top 4 include?
UCF, no.
UCF, no.
But the other thing is, especially this weekend, it's going to be some interesting things that happen.
Oh yeah.
Possibly.
I'll say here. I'll put my top 4 out already. Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame. And
Notre Dame, I think, will get knocked off.
Florida State won't beat Notre Dame. There's no way.
Well, no, before the end of the season, yes.
They won't. They will not lose to USC or Syracuse.
Because number 3's been cursed since the whole college playoff thing.
True. Now I want to get back to what I was saying.
Okay, they have 8 different parties.
Okay, so Sweden. Now we want to get back to Sweden. Okay.
They can't be described who's going to work with, who and that. None of them have 51%. Yeah,
Wow.
I could see how that could be a problem. 8 different parties, that really divides things.
Oh,
big
definitely. I
time.
mean, look at our government. Our government's what, 2 parties?
Well, one of the third parties.
Yeah, the third party. Like was it the Green Party last year? Is that what it was?
Well, independent, whatever.
Right.
You
I'll
know,
say-
Democrats, Republicans, independent. You here and there, you get the Tea parties, whatever.
Right.
But those are like, I can't even sit. Probably, I want to say like 5%, but most of it falls in the top 2.
Right.
Independent and the others are, like 8 or less.
Right.
The other parts, the other 2.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. You learn something every day here on the sports show. We're talking a little government too.
Yeah, I could see where that could cause a wrench
Oh,
in the
definitely.
woodwork and that.
Oh yeah. I'll say
8 different parties, that really divides things.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, you never know what Trump may do. I mean, he ended up going to Pittsburgh, oddly enough, because of, despite all the protesters. That's the one thing that did surprise
Well,
me.
he ended up here.
No, I ended up going to Pittsburgh.
No, he actually ended up here too today.
Oh, he was here today? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, so there's
I
something
got
for
one
you.
of their text messages of, hey, join,
Oh, yeah, I got
join
that
the
too.
thing, blah, 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 blah. And first of all, hey, I'm Donald Trump and that, blah, blah. But the sad thing is the first thing that came to mind.
What?
I'm not going to go the complete party sides, but
Right.
you just see, I'm Donald Trump. Just that opening thing, it's like, I want a video call you just for one reason. You're probably an intern or a secretary. You're not the real Donald Trump. Come on.
Right, yeah. Yeah. It's like all the...
You're lying to me flat out right now.
Right. It's like those fake Twitter accounts, that people create, and they say, oh, I'm the real Donald Trump. Or something like, or like the, I'll give you an example. I could just go out and make a Twitter account that says, I'm the real Baker Mayfield. I mean...
I don't even know what his Twitter thing would be.
I can look that up for you.
Yeah, for Baker.
Oh, yeah. Say, So that'd be pretty cool to have him tweet at our show. Or, I mean, yeah, that would be something.
Yeah, weirder things could happen.
Oh, definitely.
No, hey, we have musicians in that, get signed or being offered to be signed in that here and that from, people that are in different, states and that. So weirder things have happened.
I'll say, here's Baker Mayfield's Twitter if you guys want it. It's just at Baker Mayfield. That's it.
So, yeah, you can do real.
Wow. So someone could, wow, that's
Because that doesn't blend in. So you have to go with something that somewhat, sort of slips inside of that. See, that's your problem right there. But yeah, I have a very elongated, 5-step thing on someone posting that on Facebook about, the ticket thing. They just went on a elongated thing of you could see the flaws in it.
true.
And the sad thing is I just have to make fun of it. It's not that I'm against that part. You just, in general, the flaws of it. I know that makes me a bad person, that I can come up with some dark, sarcastic comments about that. It's a thing. It happens. I don't know why that was sputtering.
There. Wow,
That woke you up.
yeah, that did
Oh,
it.
now it works. Now it works correctly.
That was pretty good. But, do you have any more comments?
No.
No. Well, we
No.
thank you. Thank you for joining us from
Well, they
Swinging.
might
That's
still be around. You never
I'll say
know.
that was pretty cool. I must say that was interesting.
Yeah. See, you never know who's pondering
Right.
around.
True.
Whether it's U.S., international, wherever,
Right.
whoever.
Yeah, I mean, you get us out of our comfort zone. That's for sure. I mean, normally we just talk sports on here, but you got us out of our comfort zone, which was awesome.
Well, you learned something about a different culture.
Right, and that's awesome.
Country and
right,
stuff.
and that's awesome.
So,
Oh yeah.
hey, the cheapest history class you ever had to take. Sort of ish.
Whoa.
Oh, no problem.
Wait. that's that's a good one. That's a good one. That's perfect.
Yeah, you like how I had to go there?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're at a community college and have the cheapest history in whatever class that you ever took. It's true, because we're paying them.
Oh, definitely. Right. True. Right. And I mean, but I actually want to talk about next week's Ohio State game against Michigan State. How crazy is that game going to be?
Is this...
That's at Michigan State, I believe.
Well, what time is that going to be?
I think it's a noon kickoff on Fox, I believe.
I missed it because I was working.
Yep, you were working. I
I
wasn't.
haven't been able to catch an Ohio State game since September. It's almost like how their election still continues, Me seeing one of those games and that's nearly impossible since, the end of September. I hate to compare it to that, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean that is very, very, very true. I mean, you think about that as well.
Life and things get in the way
Right.
big time.
Right.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's a noon kickoff on Fox. Correct.
Yeah.
It's at Michigan State. That should be a test for Ohio State. Sheesh.
Yeah,
I mean-
it will be.
I mean, coming off of a nail-biting win against Nebraska. I mean, who would have thought they would have beaten Nebraska by only 4? Or what was it, 4 or 5? No. Was it 5? 5. That's what it was. Who would have thought? I mean, just think about that. Who would have thought that, Ohio State would have beaten Nebraska by 5? I said, who would have thought that Ohio State would beat Nebraska by 5? Who would have thought?
I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you what kind of game that they were having or squad of it.
Right.
Because I wasn't listening or even watching it, so I don't know squat.
Right.
And it's, I could go back, how you can go rewatch things and that, but it's yeah.
Right.
I got better things to do.
Right.
Other accomplishments and blah, 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 and things and stuff.
Right. I mean, yeah, but hey, what do you think? Do you think the Browns will trade Baker Mayfield at the end of this year? If things don't work out with him, do you see them giving him up?
It's a possibility.
Now here, I got a question for you guys. Tweet at, as I said before, tweet at me at Ryan_Kirby19 on Twitter. Do you see the Browns going out and getting Josh McDaniels? I know I can see that very possibly, but I want to get your opinions on that. So as I said before, tweet at me at Ryan_Kirby19, and we'll be here till what time? Shoot, I don't even know how long we'll be on here. Probably the next hour or so. That's my
Complete license lander.
license lander.
Yeah.
Oh,
I go back to that line.
oh, okay. But yeah, so if you guys are just joining us, the Cavaliers and excuse me, not Tyrann, he's been fired, and him and
You're like a week late on that.
yeah, I know. No.
I had to make you feel bad just a little.
Okay. The Cavaliers and acting head coach Larry Drew have agreed to a deal that will go through the 2019-2020 season. So Larry Drew is officially the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach. So there's some news for you. I mean that should be something to see. If the Cavs can get wins, can they win games? I mean, I think they've been shown that they can win games, but
What, the Cavs?
Oh yeah, I mean they're what
Yeah.
what are they 1-8? You said.
Yeah. They will. It's not going to be much, but
True. Yeah,
it'll
stay tuned.
happen.
Stay tuned for that.
We'll see what happens with that.
Oh yeah,
You know.
definitely. I mean, yeah,
So,
I mean, who knows what the Browns will do? Who knows what the Cavs will do? I mean, and speaking of the Cavs, I don't know if you guys heard. I know I'm probably a week late on this too. The Cleveland Cavaliers will be hosting the 2020 or is it 2019 or 2020 NBA All-Star Game.
What's it, 2022? You're going to make me look up things again.
I got it.
Feel like you're secretary.
Do you have
I'm filing a grievance. I don't get paid enough. Just going to throw it out there. Let's see. That was 2022. Oh, right here.
Yeah, 2022.
2022.
Yeah, the Cleveland Cavaliers will be hosting the 2022 NBA All-Star Game in downtown Cleveland. So that'll bring a lot of fans. It'll bring a lot of fans. As they said, they'll bring a lot of money to the city of Cleveland. Hopefully the Cleveland shines shows off puts their best foot forward. I mean, heck, we've got the 2019 MLB All-Star Game. We'll be here in Cleveland at Progressive Field.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be all eyes on Cleveland. And another one it's 2024 Women's Final Four will be in Cleveland at the Q as well, I believe.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there's stuff that I know that you don't know.
I know a lot of useless whatever stuff. I just get bored in life. I just know all kind of the random things.
I believe it's
That's what I do. I get bored and deep down inside. Something like that.
Yeah, yep. Here. Yeah, and then also, no, that's not news. Yeah, so yep, the Women's Final Four will be in Cleveland in 2024, so there's some other news for you. I know I'm a little bit late on that too, but we all have our slow days. But
AKA today.
yes, definitely today. I mean
Is it
today.
because it's a Monday.
Yep, and it's a Browns loss, and it's not a victory Monday. It's a losing Monday, I'd call it, or I don't know what you want to call
If you
it.
become a Browns fan, you should be used for some disappointment.
Oh, definitely.
Just saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I mean, hey, the Browns. You know what was so nice is that they actually said this. What was it on ESPN? They were saying that they were nice. It was nice to see Greg Williams while the offense was on the field. He was actually talking to the defense and coaching them on the sideline rather than just standing there like Hugh Jackson, just minding his own business. I loved seeing that. That was very very coach-like, I'd call it. To see him, so into the game. I think that was nice.
Yeah,
I mean, but
true.
yeah. I'll say, would you mind pulling up the Baker Mayfield press conference?
Oh God.
I'll say, I'd like to hear that. 'Cause, every week. Yeah, that's one thing we will guarantee you guys. Every week we'll be having you guys listen to the Baker Mayfield.
I'm surprised you haven't
press
inserted
conference.
hit or Baker in your last or middle name.
Ryan Baker Kirby. No. That would not work. That would not work.
Just saying.
I'll say he is one of my favorite players. I must say. I'm sorry to say that he is one of my favorite players. So, I'll say, do you have
Well,
it?
you want to actually play it?
Yeah. I'll say yeah. I'll say wait until the ads.
We're
here's
still
the-
running the same offense, but I think we just try to do what we're best at. We offensively, I think there was a lot more good in this game than we've had in the past. I think there's a lot to build on, but there's obviously so much more room for improvement. When you're playing a team like that, you got to stay in the game. You got to give yourself chances. You got to do the little things right. You got to chip away, take time off the clock, just because of the type of offense they have. So there was a lot of good on offense, but we just got to keep getting better.
Oh, I completely agree with him on that. I mean, that was. He said it very.
Scored touchdowns the entire game.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Touchdowns. But, I mean, he did make a good point. And here, I'll make a point to say this. I said this on the morning show. They do run the same plays every single game. They don't run any trick plays. That's one thing that makes me upset, is that they don't run any trick plays. They run the same old offense, and it's like, come on. You've learned from the past. You need to run trick plays. And that goes out to Greg Williams. I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, you got to run some trick plays. I'm sorry. Because if you want to see winning if you want to see a winning record in this for this team, you got to run trick plays because it's been proven. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, they ran one trick play and they won the Super Bowl. But think about it. You see all these other teams. You look at the Patriots last night. They ran a trick play with Julian Edelman throwing a pass to James White for a touchdown. What happened then? They scored. They won. Like, why is that? Doesn't that show someone that, that teams are good when they run trick plays? I mean, I haven't seen Jabril Peppers in one offensive series, which I'm kind of mad about because he was so good at Michigan.
Well, it's not always about trick plays.
But it's to confuse the defense. Think about that. You see these other teams running.
How many? You don't see, one team running a trick play each and every game.
At least once or twice in a game, they'll run some sort of reverse or something like that. But the Browns don't. We saw it once, and you know what? It came back to bite them. If you remember that double reverse, whether it was Rod Streeter ran backwards, and it ended up being like a 5-yard loss.
But it's not always you gotta run a trick play. Trick play doesn't, say, hey, we're going to win or lose by not doing it.
True.
I hate to say it.
But I mean, it all goes to show. Now I want to talk a little Texas football, a little Texas Longhorn football. Do you see them being in the top 10 come tomorrow night? Given that they beat, or did they beat? Did they beat? Who was it? Did they beat? Oh my God! Oh no, they lost to West Virginia. That's what it was. I'll say, speaking of that game, I don't know if any of you guys watched it, but there were a couple of celebrations that I don't think many people liked, including me. If you saw Will Greer score the game-winning touchdown, you saw him flash the Longhorns, but he did them like this, if you're watching. Like this. And they ended up calling a 5-yard, I think it was a penalty, an unsportsmanlike penalty on that. I completely agree with the officials on that call. I don't know if that's just a show of disrespect towards Texas, but that is
I
complete.
can't see Texas making it up even in the top 10
I could see it only.
before the end of the
I mean,
year. The
if they-
highest, maybe 11th.
I mean, if they can win the rest of their games this year, they've got a shot. They've got a legitimate shot because they're in the Big 12. I mean, they've got the conference championship game to play with. Notre Dame doesn't. They are an independent school. They have to rely on other schools to lose out in order to get in. Simple as that. That's why I wish Notre Dame would join the ACC or join, some conference just to have the equal opportunity to make it in. Because that's one thing that Notre Dame lacks is that they do not have a conference championship game that they have to play in. the last week of the season. Because they're done after USC, and I don't even remember what day that is. Oh,
It was sometime in November.
right. So their last game of the season is sometime in November. They don't
I
play.
can't see Texas
They
from
don't play-
19th getting up to the 10.
I could see
really
that.
can't.
Oh, if any of the teams above them lose, watch Texas jump up, or watch Texas Tech jump up. Heck, Texas Tech beat Oklahoma, or was it Oklahoma beat Texas Tech?
I'm not sure.
I'll take a look at that. But even that, I mean, if Texas Tech were to win out, I could see them wherever they're at right now. I believe they're unranked, but still, I mean, anything can happen in college football if you think about it.
I can't see Texas getting up there.
I'm sorry, I'm so superstition, Jeremiah. I got that superstition. You know, I like that. You know, but
I
yeah,
can see
yeah.
someone in up here, a few people dropping.
So Oklahoma ended up beating Texas Tech 51-46 on Saturday night. So, I mean, and who does Texas Tech have coming up? That's the one. That's the other thing. Let's see here. Well, okay, so they play Texas. So it's Texas Tech Saturday night on Fox. So if Texas Tech were to beat Texas, Texas is ranked 17th, I could see Texas Tech jumping. Oh, for sure. I mean, and here's the other thing: is if Boston College were to beat Clemson, think about all that shakeup. Think about that.
Are you saying the playoffs,
What do you mean?
or you mean the ranking?
I'm saying in the rankings. If Texas Tech were to beat Texas, I could see Texas Tech jumping up in the rankings. If Boston College were to beat Clemson, I could see, and I'm going to say this again, I could see UCF
I can't
getting
see
in.
Boston College.
You never know. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. You never know.
That's sort of a stretch.
But I mean, if you watch how good, Boston College is, I mean, they're in the top 25. I mean, they're down there. But I mean, in my opinion, everybody controls their own destiny. I mean, in my opinion, Bama's automatically in already if they win out. I mean, but it'll come to a point where some teams will drop out, and if Ohio State, in my opinion, if Ohio State can win out, they have a shot at the playoff by all means. Because you look at the rest of Ohio State's schedule, I mean, they play at home or at Michigan State, at home against Michigan, and then I believe they're at Maryland as well. I mean,
Their one thing is they gotta actually beat people decently
true,
if they want a shot at anything.
right,
That's their one problem they got.
true. I mean, and some of the teams have already clinched, like Alabama. If they were to lose, to Mississippi State, they're still in the SEC title game. They're still in that. They're not going to be out of that by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you look at that and you think, wait a minute, these schools, Alabama's automatically in already.
Yeah.
I mean, because if Alabama does lose, lose to Mississippi State, they're automatically in the SEC title game already. I mean, that's also a crazy, thing to think about, is that, they are in it, Heck, Georgia could lose the rest of their games this year and still be in the SEC title game. They won't be out because they've already clinched.
But they lose in it.
True.
So it ends everything right there. Just throwing it out there.
True.
So
I mean, when you look at that and you think, okay, this is a pretty good showing by a couple of the good teams. I mean, heck, West Virginia could jump up.
maybe.
I mean, that's very true, with West Virginia and with, some of these schools, it's a lot to go by with those schools and how good they are. I mean, look at West Virginia where they were last year. They didn't do so well last year, and look at them this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing fantastic football, and they're already in the. I believe they're already in the Big 12 championship game, so they're covered for the Big 12. I mean, if West Virginia were to win out, they're in the playoff by all means, and LSU's out of the playoff because you can't. I said this on the morning show. You can't have a 2-loss team in the playoff. That would just be wrong if you think about it. That would be flat out wrong. Because it would show, okay, a 2-loss team. You could have a 2-loss team in the playoff. But
What happens if everyone loses 2 games?
true.
It can happen like that.
That's very true. What are you doing, Jeremiah?
The mic has a short in it.
I believe the camera just went out, so now no one can watch us.
Well, that shouldn't be doing that.
Well, sorry for technical difficulties. We'll take a short break, and will we take a short break? I don't know.
Huh?
What's the situation?
Oh no, that's fine.
Oh, that's fine? Okay.
Yeah.
I was worried for a second. I'm like, oh, no. Do we have any callers? Do we have anybody text
No.
in? No. I'll say definitely, yeah, call in. What was the number again? Shoot. I forgot about it now.
440-940-6615.
Yep, 6. Yep.
No, you just had to refresh that.
Ah, okay. I'll say,
No,
yeah.
I was putting electrical tape around the short.
Okay. I'll say now I can't hear you, but okay.
It's because someone was sitting there picking it with their finger and they put a thing in the cord.
Oh, yeah. So I'll say when I would touch it, it would be like, I would turn it and it would be all weird, but I mean, I know.
That's why I put the tape there.
Gotcha.
Because someone's sitting there picking at it.
Ah, yeah, people. People these days, it goes back to our earlier discussion about people and how sometimes stupid they can be.
Well, it just shows. You can't just sit in here and just pick at things.
Right, because sometimes things cost money.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, look, I don't know if you guys can see, but
$161 to send this back to the company to get a new one.
and here, word of advice for people. Do not play basketball with your cell phone in your pocket, because here's what will happen. I don't know if you
Well,
guys
it
can
should be
I
common
don't know if you guys can
sense,
see it,
dude.
but my screen cracked, and actually when I put it in my pocket, part of the screen actually came off. So there's a word of advice
But
for
I
you
went and
guys.
played dodgeball. I didn't have my phone with me.
Well, I was just being flat out stupid. I'm sorry. I'll admit it. But, I mean, it goes back to common sense. I mean, here, I'll give you another example with sports. Was it Michael Kendricks, the guy who did the trade, whatever it was?
Insider trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another thing for you people who do trading stocks. Michael Kendricks was arrested for insider trading and giving away Eagles tickets for it. And look, and he's not even with the Browns anymore. They released him. I mean,
Well, no, he's with the Seahawks.
yeah, the Seahawks actually wanted a stupid guy, considering they had Richard Sherman, who called Michael Crabtree a mediocre receiver.
Well, it's true.
Michael Crabtree? No.
What's Crabtree done this year?
Nothing.
Exactly. So who won that comment?
Sherman.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was kind of a little. I mean, it's like the what was it? The Allen Iverson thing a couple years ago. We're talking about practice.
Well, that's quite a few years ago, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, Allen Iverson.
That's a lot of years in between that.
Right here, I'll even go way back. Herm Edwards going playoffs. We're talking about playoffs.
Still, yeah, that's even quite a way.
I'll say that's how Browns fans were after they lost to the Chargers. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? Let's focus on this game
No,
coming
it's still
up.
people talking about that.
But I'm just saying, like after that, I feel like that's how I was. Really talking about playoffs, but we got to focus on the game. But
Yeah.
hey, that Allen Iverson thing will never get old, in my opinion. The whole practice thing, that'll never get old. But
Yeah.
I mean, here, looking at some of the NFL, look at some of Browns quarterbacks where they are now. Look at Kaiser, he's with the Packers. Johnny Manziel in the CFL. Who else? Brian Hoyer with the Patriots. Cody Kessler. Where's he at? I don't even know. I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Cody?
Yeah, Cody Kessler.
Well, we know RJ or RG3.
He's
He's
in
in
Baltimore. I believe he's in Baltimore.
Let's see. Jags.
Oh, he's with Jacksonville. Okay. I'll say no wonder he gets no playing time. Blake Bortles is doing a heck of a lot better. Well, he did get a little bit of playing time. I'll give him that.
So
I mean, but yeah, I mean, there's a statement for you. Quarterback carousel for the Cleveland Browns. Look where they are now. All backups. No starters. Except for Johnny Manziel, but, CFL really doesn't count for me. I wouldn't count that as a starting job because the CFL is just a waste of time, in my opinion. That's just a D league, if you will, for the NFL. I mean, I wouldn't really count that. It's true. It's true. I mean, think about it. Johnny, I mean, all these other teams were going to give him a chance. I mean, you look at Baltimore. They could have given him a shot.
you can't blame teams not giving him a chance for one reason. Look at the media. Look at Vegas.
Look at all the T-shirts that he did. The money sign. That I hated. There's one thing I do hate about Johnny Manziel. I'll give you that. The money.
No, I hated that before we even drafted him.
Oh my God. I mean, I did like his play. Don't get me wrong. He played very well at Texas A&M. He's surprised. He was a explosive.
Was he even a pro offense? Even close. He was playing a mediocre system in a school that,
Right.
that sort of plays a little competitive but mediocre. It was a joke.
Right.
It was a fraud.
True.
Really, he shouldn't even had the Heisman.
True. But hey, look at Baker Mayfield. He won the Heisman, but you know what's so crazy about that? You say that? I feel like we're having a Heisman curse. Almost like, I don't know if you guys know the game. Yeah, you guys probably all know the game Madden. There's that Madden curse. Rob Gronkowski got hurt after he was on the cover of Madden. Look at the Heisman. Lamar Jackson, backup. Johnny Manziel, CFL. Mark Ingram, so. Who else has won the Heisman?
Well, he was suspended for 4 games this year.
I believe so.
Ingram.
True.
So,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, even look at. I know this is going to go way back, but did you watch any of the Saints game last night or yesterday?
ish.
Did you see the Michael Thomas touchdown? What he did when he was in the end zone?
No.
He took the pad from the end zone and did. I think it was called. I think the guy's name was Jeff Horn, and he had a flip phone, an old flip phone, under the goalpost pad. Like the thing that covers. And he had taken it out, and he was calling. Like he lost service. Like they lost. Like get it. Like the corner lost him. You know what I mean? You get it? Like how you lose service. The guy lost him. He's like, or it was something like that. But yeah,
Hey, he did really good for my fantasy team. That's all I care about.
yeah.
Just gonna say that
I'll say here. I'll find that for you. But
he really did well for my
I'll
fantasy
say
team.
Drew Brees. I mean, let's see. Was it Jeff Horn? Let's see. No, sorry. Jeff Horn is actually a boxer. So let me find the Michael Thomas. Let me see here. Michael Thomas. Let me see.
But yeah, I can't lie on that. One league I came up a little short in that, but
Yeah, no, it was Joe Horn. So it was Joe
I remember
Horn.
him.
Yeah, there you go. So and he actually got, and then Thomas got flagged for it.
Well, of course. This is a little excessive.
I don't even. And yeah, and then so he was. So then here's the other thing is that Michael Thomas was penalized, and he was also fined $13,369.
That's chump change.
Horn was
for
fined
him.
$30,000 15 years ago, but it was his second violation of that season.
Yeah.
I mean, and who would have thought that you could find a
You
flip?
know the funny thing is both of them were on the Saints that did that.
Oh,
It's kind of a small world.
yeah. But I just love how he brought out the old flip phone. It wasn't like he put a smartphone under there. He put the old flip phone. The old 90s flip phone under the...
See? He helped me destroy.
Oh, snap. Oh. Well, there's a statement for you.
See? I can't complain.
Right.
My fantasy team was wonderful.
True. I mean, you also can't...
All else fails, if you can't root for the Browns, you root for your fantasy team.
Right. True.
And you know the funny thing is that's the same team that I have Mahomes,
Oh, man.
Watkins.
So wait, so you were rooting for the Chiefs yesterday. You weren't rooting for...
Kelsey.
Oh, my God. So you got all local talent on your team, man. Man, that is something. Speaking of that, I don't know if you guys heard, but Willoughby South graduate Kareem Hunt, his mother actually dropped off 100 tickets to the game yesterday. 110 tickets to Willoughby South High School, to the Willoughby South High School Rebel football team. What was it, Monday? To go to the game. So, I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. I mean, then Kelsey went to Cleveland Heights, a couple local boys. Hey, at least they didn't disgrace us, didn't do anything stupid like, who was it? Isaiah Crowell wiping his butt with the ball, or wiping the ball with his butt, and then...
Well, they grew up here. They seen everything go on.
Yeah. I mean, Kareem Hunt, him and Kelsey have always dreamed of playing in Cleveland, so...
Yeah. So you knew it was going to happen at some point in time.
And here's the other thing people were talking about is the Baker Mayfield versus Patrick Mahomes when Mahomes was at Texas Tech and Baker was at Oklahoma. Baker won that game handily. It wasn't even a test. It's that's the beauty of this show is that you always find new things to talk about. I mean, heck, we talked about the government. We talked about Sweden. We got to learn a couple things about from a viewer in Sweden. So yeah, that's the beauty of the sports show. I mean, it's not just about sports. There's always something new.
We'll just blame the intern instead.
The intern?
Yes.
What do you mean the intern?
All else fails, you blame the intern.
Okay, I don't even know what you're referencing at all. I'm sorry.
You'll find out.
I thought you were referencing the movie The Intern.
No. Good movie, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you props there.
I'll say here, top 3. I'll give you here. Speaking of movies, I'm going to talk about sports movies for a little bit since we're on this topic. Top 3 greatest sports movies of all time. These are my top 3. The Sandlot, The Natural, Major League. All baseball movies, but what would you say for your top 3?
First
Jeremiah?
2 are a joke.
The Sandlot's a classic. You cannot complain about The Sandlot.
I can.
That saying's never going to get old. You're killing me, Smalls. That movie's never going to get old. And so is Major League. Major League, that movie...
Well, Major League, of course, no.
Yes, that's not a joke. Are you kidding?
I said your first 2.
Oh, The Natural? Wait. What about 42? What if I replaced the movie 42 about Jackie Robinson? That movie was a great movie. That was fantastic. I would see that agagen and again. It was about him breaking...
I could say The Blind Side.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, now that one I didn't think about. About, what was it, Michael Lohr?
Especially because it hasn't been out that long.
Which one?
Oh, The Blind Side? That's what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been out there that long.
Oh, yeah.
Besides Major League.
Major League, that movie, yeah. That movie's funny. Yeah, that's
For sure.
That's a classic with Charlie, what was it, Charlie Sheen and, shoot, who was it? Can't think of the other people.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You call yourself an Indians fan?
But here, I know one thing for that movie. Just a bit outside. That's the one thing I remember.
Especially because they made Major League 2.
I was saying, here's another crazy thing for you guys. I know here's another classic movie for you. Back to the Future. They actually talked about, they had brought this up during the 2016 World Series with the Indians. They said on that day, the Cubs would win the World Series. And how crazy was it that in that movie they said that, and what happened that day? The Indians lost the World Series. Movies do come true. There's a good thing for you. Movies do come true. But I mean, could you think of any other good classic sports movies that you could think of? I mean, there's plenty to think about for sure. I mean, you think about what was it, Glory Road, Hoosiers.
Well, you gotta remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
Things.
Oh, that movie. When the Game Stands Tall. The one about what was it?
We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall. Yeah. I'll say Remember the Titans. That was about the oh my god, it was about a high school team in California. Shoot, what was it? I'm gonna look that up.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I haven't seen that movie in a while. I know the movie because I saw it and it was great. I mean, it was a fantastic film. I would see it again and again, but I can't think of it at the moment. Let me see. I know it was about it was like a great high school football team. Yeah, it was about the the De La Salle the De La Salle Spartans. It was a high school football team that went undefeated and was just this powerhouse school. And then there was a couple of things that happened. The coach ended up getting. I'm not gonna spoil the movies for you guys. I would never do that to you guys, never. But I mean, here's a movie. I know this may not count as a movie, but Believeland. That was a pretty decent documentary about Cleveland. Once they remade it, you know.
Well, it's not actual movie.
It's more of a documentary.
Yeah. You can't say it was a complete movie. So.
Right. I mean, let's see. I can't even think of any other good sports movies. Shoot. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we got some breaking news just coming into the studio. The finalists for the MLB Cy Young Award. For the AL, Justin Verlander, Corey Kluber. For the NL, Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer. You heard it first here on Lake Effect Radio and here on the Sports Show. The finalists have just been announced for the Cy Young Award. So, there's that for you. A little baseball news.
All I see is Fix.
Fix. Why do you say that?
I don't know. Felt like saying it.
Man, you just love saying Fix. Oh, okay, so here we go.
Lies.
So, why do you... here we go. And then also Blake Snell is also a finalist. And then for the National League, also Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Aaron Nola is also a finalist. So there's that. I mean... Okay, so someone just texted me about a movie called Forever Strong. It's a movie about a real team of a rugby team. I've not seen that movie yet, so I'll definitely put that on my bucket list to see. The other one, Invincible, with Mark Wahlberg, about what was it, the Philadelphia Eagles. There's another one. Here. There may be some kids listening in, but I'll put something out there. Thunderstruck, about Kevin Durant and this guy who gets Kevin Durant's talent and ends up being this like high school superstar. There's a kids movie for you. Have you seen that one? Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant. It's when Kevin Durant was with the Oklahoma City Thunder, oddly enough.
Huh.
Oh my God, what's it called? I just thought of it. Shoot, it's with oh my God, Kevin Costner. All America or All American, I think, right? Shoot, do you know what I'm talking about? All American.
No.
I think that's what it's called. Let me look that up. But I mean, there's so many good. I mean, I haven't seen many sports movies out lately. That really blows my mind. I mean, I see more of the cartoons. Like, here's a movie that I know. I think it's coming out this Friday. Is The Grinch? They're making a cartoon version of that.
Well, you knew it was going to happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, and they're making a lot of Disney movie remakes. That I didn't see coming. But I mean, yeah, there's something for you guys as far as movies. You got to get more sports movies out there. I mean, there's got to. I mean, the one movie here's one movie I will mention to you guys that I think you should go see. It's a great movie. It's based on the Pepsi Kyrie Irving commercials. Uncle Drew, great movie. It was very funny. I will give them that. It was a pretty funny movie. Have you seen it yet, Jeremiah? Uncle Drew? Oh, you got to see it.
No.
Oh, it's a great movie. Great movie.
I'm really bad at seeing movies.
I'll say you're busy with homework?
Yeah, the college thing takes a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, college, yeah. I mean, even college athletes. I mean, you think that, their life is just about, doing stuff in school and sports, but, it's more than that. I mean, they gotta make sure they're clean on and off the field.
Yeah.
Good example, Baker Mayfield. The one mistake he made, and I'm surprised the Browns drafted him with the number 1 overall pick, considering he made this mistake. The game against Kansas when he made some inappropriate gestures towards Kansas because they didn't shake his hand by being a good sport. I don't remember that, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I think the Browns should have looked at and said, you know what, let's not draft Baker. But you know what? Looking back at it, he apologized. He was stripped of the captain's sticker on his jersey. He sat out a game and...
For one game. And he sat out of the game for not even a half. Really, not even the complete first quarter.
So, he learned his lesson, in my opinion. Sitting out for a quarter, getting stripped of the captains.
So if someone goes and kills 25 people, you go and say, oh, well, we sent it, we were going to sentence you to jail, whatever, for 5 minutes. You think that's going to teach them a lesson?
No.
Exactly. Still, yeah, it would have put a lasting impression. That was very mediocre.
Well,
and if I was the NCAA, I would be very ticked.
Oh, yeah, because, you could clearly tell. I know there may be some good lip readers, but you could clearly tell, even if you are a bad lip reader, what he was saying and the gestures he made. I get where he's coming from. You got to be a good sport. You offer your hand to shake, to be a good sport. I get that.
But every once in a while, people are going to suck.
Yeah.
You suck it up and deal with it.
Right. You don't make gestures to their sideline saying, come here, come at me. You don't do that. That's unsportsmanlike. In my opinion, Baker should have been thrown out of the game because of the gestures he made. Mm-hmm. Heck, if he would have made those gestures in the NFL, guess what? He would have been tossed. He would have been ejected because that's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and he probably would have been tossed for it.
But see, that's the thing is, he sat out for like a quarter and whatever, lost his captain thing for one game. That doesn't put a lasting... Yeah, it happened, whatever.
Right.
But if you want to set up precedents, especially whether it's someone going in the draft or a younger guy.
Right.
If I was the coach, I would strip the captain's thing for right after that.
For 2 games? Or what would you say?
For the rest of whatever.
I feel like that'd be going... Personally, I would take away part of his tuition and say that tuition money is going to fines.
You can't actually fine him in the college, though.
You could suspend him for 2 or 3 games.
Yes.
Instead of benching him very easily.
I would have held him out for at least 1 complete game besides losing the captain sticker. Because you think that's an honor. You're representing the college, the team,
yourself,
your program, yourself.
Oh, yeah.
There's many in that.
Right.
As soon as you go and do something that dumb,
right,
you should be stripped automatically.
Right. It's like, who was it?
Not for just whatever a game.
I'll say I don't want to put at these. I don't want to go into these details, but the Jerry Sandusky situation. Even think about the program. Penn State was severely scarred for that.
Oh yeah.
Their program. Paterno was fired. The program went into a rebuilding phase, and everybody didn't know what the heck to believe.
But yeah, to be honest, that's what I would have done.
Right. I know they're 2 different situations, the Baker Mayfield situation and the Penn State situation, but it's the same thing. These people, I get Sandusky was arrested and he had all these federal things going at him, but not one person said a word. I want to talk about this whole Penn State thing because there's all these things happening in the world. Not one person said a word about all the stuff.
Yeah. People got paid off or were frightened and all kinds of stuff.
And here's another situation for you. The Larry Nassar situation with USA Gymnastics. I saw that and I'm like, you got to be kidding. You're telling me that all this happened and no one said a word. People I get people who are afraid.
Things happen all over, man. It's just a matter of time until something
but it's
happens.
It's like, you're taught at a young age, if you see something, say something. Which, to be honest with you, I get that people are afraid. I get that. But when it's happening to your own friends, own teammates, I was shocked that no one said a word to anybody saying, oh, he's, I'm not going to put words out there because I'm just not going to put those words out there, but you get where I'm going. Why? All these stupid people in the world are just being plain stupid, and it's driving me. It's driving me.
This is the world, man.
I hate it. I'm gonna say it right now. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because you get all these people that are good people. They're great people, and then they do stupid stuff. What can you do?
People suck.
Yep.
You learn that.
Right. So it's just about 7 o'clock as we are going to wrap it up. So we thank you once again for listening to the Sports Show here on Lake Effect Radio. We hope you join us Wednesday morning for another edition of the Morning Sports Show. Once again, we want to thank the person in Sweden, whoever that was chatting with us for a little bit. Thank you for that. We thank you all thank everybody who participated. I want to thank Jeremiah for joining me once again. So we thank you again, and we'll see you guys Wednesday morning. Have a great evening. Go Lakers and go Browns. Good night, everybody.